Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to St. Kitts. We are here today in the Asobo ATR in the Caribbean Airlines livery. This is a bit of a fake out because there is no actual flights from Caribbean Airlines from this airport. And there are no flights, I should say, from Caribbean Airlines to the destination that we're going to today, which is Anguilla. And, but that's okay, because we're flying this as a charter. And I am pretty excited about it. So, let's get inside the cockpit here. And this is the updated Asobo ATR, and it is pretty awesome in my opinion. I mean, I don't know, haven't really seen a whole lot of other people's reactions to this update, but I think it is getting better, and I think I'm getting better at flying this airplane and kind of understanding the philosophical differences, for lack of a better term, that it has with the Boeing. And really, kind of the biggest differences it has with the Boeing is the FMC. I mean, it's a very simple airplane to fly. All the light switches are backwards in this plane compared to the Boeing, which is kind of weird. I don't know why I kind of have a feeling that the Frenchies who designed this airplane were like, yeah, let's just do everything the opposite way that that Boeing did things, which is not to be unexpected in some ways. So let's see here. Flight. So this is the good stuff, right? Flight plan. Import OFP. Boeing. There you go. And I haven't read up on how to actually do this for real. You just click set flight plan, and you can see the HSI there reorient itself, so it's clearly set the flight plan in the airplane. I just kind of go around and start hitting buttons, and it seems to work. So set the trim, and then you check your performance, and that all makes sense. So I think we're really in pretty good shape. So come over here, and first thing I want to do is 122.8, and we do have, why is it in the, I had it on this one. We do have ATC up at Juliana, and in that area. So they'll give us a squawk code and all that fun business once we get up there. Alright, we'll just turn this on now so I don't have to come back and do it later. Alright, so TKPK, runway 7. And I am going to do a SID, which is going to be where are we here? There's certain things I like about having this this over here versus down here. But alright, so we are going to do this Kapoor 1A, this Zapata. Yeah, that's the one I want. I mean, there's really no need per se, but we'll do it anyway. Alright, now we got that going. Let's get our altitude in, which is going to be 8,000. It tells you how long of a flight this is going to be. Not very long. I still find the PFD somewhat difficult to see, which is unfortunate. That's interesting. Look at that. Don't remember that being. I confirm takeoff data, and now we've got the 108 here, so that means we're good. This is the one thing that I've noticed. You don't see the zero fuel weight and the fuel on board. Let's take a look real quick. The transition altitude. Transition altitude is 5,000. Our alternate today is what? Our alternate today is, we don't have an alternate. So let's just go, I mean, I think it wouldn't make sense to use St. Martin as an alternate because it's right next door, literally, you know, so you want something that's got at least a little bit of a distance so you can hope for some, you know, hope for some better weather. Flight out, cruise altitude set, alternate and cruise altitudes are set. Let's check the weights. Okay, zero fuel weight and everything is set. So that's all good. So we're all set as far as that goes. Yeah, I mean, I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's load this. I want to see real quick what my frequency is going to be up in San Juan. 118.15. Always a good idea to get that in your backup. Have your frequencies ready to go. So that's good. So that's good. I'm just letting my flying partner know that we're not going to be flying the real airplane today. So we were talking about flying the real airplane today, but the problem is that the clouds are actually perfect for doing actual approaches. The only problem is neither of us are legal right now, so we can't do it. So let's go to our before propeller rotation checklist. Alright, everything is good here. FMS and takeoff data is set. Trim 3 green. Tail prop, doors. Alright, let's go seatbelts and beacons. That's already on. Rotating beacon on. Alright, all good to go. Take a quick look outside. I think I'm going to need this anymore. And we are looking good. Alright, I'm always questioning myself a little bit in this airplane because I'm not you know, 100%. You know, I'm not 100% on it. As a matter of fact, I think I've got, fairly certain I've got the headphone simulation turned on, which is, and I do, which isn't really necessary in this airplane, and it makes it so you can't really hear much of anything. Alright, so we want to have at least some sound, right? So that's good to go. We got that side going. So now we can come over here, ditch the wheel chocks, ditch the ground power, and we're good to go. Alright, and we'll come back up here, turn that on, hit the engine starter, come down here, bring this out of shut off. We'll let this spool up. You're starting to see, I see those white outlines around the PFDs and stuff nowadays, which is whatever. So this is coming back down, we're looking good. Bring that up now to the auto position. I'm not going to be using VORs in this flight, but I always turn those on anyway. As a matter of fact, it'd be a good thing to have the St. Martin VOR tuned in, just because, I think it's 113.0 it is, just because on the off chance that they ask me my distance from a VOR, it's certainly going to be from the Papa Juliet Mike VOR, which is in there. So we may as well just put that in already. I think we actually have a VOR here as well, and we do. No, it's an NDB. I don't play with NDBs, so so we'll just ignore that. NDBs are one of those things that are pretty useful if you kind of know if you know how to use them, but I got no clue, so I don't even pretend. Alright, so we'll turn our taxi and takeoff lights on, nav strobe lights on. We will turn the starter off, turn these on. Whoopsie. Alright, so everything looking good here. Alright, feeling pretty happy right now. So I'm not, usually if I'm in the, like flying, you know, without recording the flight, which is most often, in this plane I don't, I would be a bit quicker and a bit kind of, yeah, just a bit quicker, but as you can see, it's a really fast airplane to get up and running, which is fantastic. And tow brakes are engaged. Parking brake is removed, or released rather. Take a quick look outside. We'll make sure there's nobody behind us. And this is one of the cool features of this plane. Watch this. Throw the props into reverse. And we just back her up. And there we go. Bradshaw traffic, Caribbean 3003 is pushing back from position 5, taxiing to runway 07 via taxiway Alpha, Bradshaw. Alright, so icing, flaps 15, And yes, I should have done this. I should have done this before I started taxiing. Alright, we're good to go. One thing about this plane is it taxis very quickly. Taxis very quickly, and we're going to be real quick into controlled airspace as well. So let's do our before takeoff checklist. Takeoff briefing is going to be pretty straightforward. So our takeoff briefing, we are going to go straight out to Kapoor, left to 352, and left to 282 Zapata. So that's pretty good. Gust lock. It's kind of a curious thing on this airplane. Flight control is good. Transponder and TCAS are good. Comms over. All good. Airflow. Cabin crew. Engine bleeds exterior lights. Flight director bar is good. The cam is good. Alright, so one thing that I just noticed that I don't have, I don't know if you're gonna hear that in the recording or not, but I just Bradshaw traffic, Caribbean 3003 is back taxiing runway 07 full length for departure, Bradshaw. I didn't have, I forgot to turn weather force on, so I'm injecting the weather right now. Heading of 071 for takeoff. So we'll just square that as soon as we indicated airspeed mode, nav mode. Okay, altitude should be in the backup. Alright, lights are on. We're looking good. We haven't really done anything too wrong so far, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I really enjoy this airplane. I just felt like it needed a couple things squared away, and the with the update, I mean, it's always flown beautifully. I mean, hand flown. I mean, I always find it weird when people say, "Oh, the airplane flies beautifully." It should. It's an airplane. But this plane in particular hand flies very, very nicely. And always has, but it's just been kind of a pig to get set up, for one reason because they don't have any documentation. This was one of the complications of the airplane, but one of the other problems was not being able to set the, having to use the Microsoft menus to load the weights and everything. It's just kind of not good. So anyway, heading indicator checks with the runway number. Let's square the heading bug. Bradshaw traffic, Caribbean 3003, departing runway 07 will be a left crosswind departure to the north. Bradshaw. Alright. Gust lock is off. Alright, I'm going to bring the power up. Notch is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. Accelerating normally. 80 knots, cross-checked. You really have to be careful taking off in this plane not to tail strike it. It's very easy to do. Alright, let's get the nose down. Get the gear up here. Beautiful airport. And we'll go and we'll put the flaps up and we'll go autopilot.
Don't sing.
Yeah, it's alright. We're good. Taxi and takeoff lights coming off. And just a little bit. Alright, airspeed's coming up nicely. After takeoff, landing gear up, flaps are up, power management climb, engine bleeds are on, taxi and takeoff lights are off. We'll set the altimeters here pretty soon, 5,000 feet. Yeah. And it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful airplane. A beautiful airplane with a beautiful scenery. That is Bradshaw scenery from SLH Sim Design. I think SLH Sim Design, even though they will always have a place in my heart, I am biased. I will tell you right now. I am biased. 11011 knots at Anguilla. And what did we forget to do, ladies and gentlemen? 1015. That's what we forgot to do, which is a little embarrassing. Alright. 2800 climbing 8000. I am biased for SLH Sim Designs because not only is he from Anguilla, but he also did the Anguilla scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which will always put a very special place in my heart for SLH Sim Designs. But moving away from my admitted bias in favor of SLH Sim Designs, their sceneries are awesome. I mean, like, their rendition of Pointe Pitre in Guadeloupe is simply unbelievable. I mean, just unbelievable. So 4,000 climbing 8,000. Nice to have a little bit of weather up here. So just doing my fidgeting, settling in for cruise, which is not going to be it's not going to be real long today. And a gorgeous livery for this airplane. Yeah, and there's the ping from TNCM approach, so 128.95. So I got my frequency wrong. So there you go. 128.950. Enter. Flip it. And there we go. So listen for a sec, make sure we don't step on anybody. Juliana approach, Caribbean 3003, 5,400, climbing 8,000.
Caribbean 3003, Juliana approach, reset transponder 5, correction, 4532, 4532.
Let's see here. 4532. Enter. Squawking 4532 for Caribbean 3003.
Caribbean 3003, identify, continue climb to flight level 080. After Zapta, proceed direct to Humana. Uniform, Mike, Alpha, November, Alpha. After Humana, direct to Avaki, Alpha, Victor, Alpha, Kilo, India. After Avaki, then to Otmot, Oscar, Tango, Mike, Oscar, Tango, and plan for the RNP runway 11.
Okay, proceed direct to Umana, then Avaki, then Atmat for Caribbean 3003, and we'll expect the RNP 11 approach into Anguilla. And good afternoon, or good morning, I suppose. Thank you very much.
Hey, good morning.
All right, so Zapata. Alright, so here we go. Let's see how fancy we can be. Zapata, next waypoint. Zapata, then Humana, right? Now I know that this sim does not generally like Humana. Avaki does not generally like. This is the difference between Boeing and Airbus. Is that RNP11 transition Atma. Okay. And let's clear this discontinuity. Avaki. So Zapata, Humana, Avaki, Atma. Bingo. We are looking really good. This sim generally doesn't like to have waypoints typed in, or not this sim, this FMC, and that's kind of the problem in a lot of ways that I ran into flying this thing. Is that I didn't really quite understand that. Which is, it is what it is. I mean, Zapata, direct, Humana, direct, Avaki, and then we'll hit that, and we should get a good, yeah, there we go. I mean, this is like, as I said in a recent video, this is a shocking display of competence right here. A shocking display of competence. And that's fantastic controlling there, because any number of ways we could have done this. And this is the easy way. Alright, so we don't have to worry about radio frequencies. This is a quick trip, so we got to be on the ball here. I can already see top of descent dialed in here on the PFD, which is great. So low procedures. I want that descent procedure up. Alright. So final approach course 105, glide slope intercept is at Papa Foxtrot 11 Foxtrot is 1,760 feet. We are a Category Bravo airplane, and why is that? Because our approach speed is between 91 and 120 knots. So 530 is going to be our MDA on this flight. So we'll dial that in, 530. And why are those DHs and MDAs blinking? That's to let you know, 530. That's to let you know that you've got to confirm it over on this side as well. All you got to do is click the button over to MDA. So MDA is in. Airport elevation is 120 feet. It's automatic in this airplane, which is a really nice feature. There is St. Bart's. There is St. Martin. Alright, so missed approach, climb straight ahead to 1,000 feet, then a climbing left turn to crook and hold. That is going to be a direct entry because it's going to hit that, and then basically what you do is to get a heading for your direct entry, you want to go, or no, it's not a direct entry, excuse me, it is a teardrop entry. So you want to come here, and you just take your outbound heading, minus 30 degrees, in this case it'd be 345. So you hit crook and turn to a heading of 345 for 2 minutes because it's a distance hold, timed hold. Then you make a standard rate right hand turn around to an inbound heading of 195. And then you are in the hold. Standard glide slope, so we can figure about 550 feet a minute, 500 to 550 feet given our speed. PAPI on the left hand side, precision approach path indicator, that's the 4 lights on the left hand side of the runway. No approach light system. So we are ready to rumble. Let's check our progress. Distance to top of descent, 6 minutes. So, like I said, this is going to be a quick one. This is one of the first times I've flown this airplane on Vatsim. So, and see here, we're 18 miles from Papa Juliet Mike, so if we're asked, we know that already. So, everything is done here. Reverse, dry, 2,209 feet. We use no reverse, so only going to be 2,254. So we got plenty of. There's your approach. You got plenty of distance, even if we don't use the brakes, the reversers rather. Performance. All right. One other thing. What is the transition level? 065, so 6,500 feet. 6,500 feet. QNH at Anguilla is 1015. A lot to do here. Flaps full, approach speed activate. Alright. A lot to do here to make sure you're ready to go in such a short flight. So, dial this down to 1,760 feet. I wonder why he had us go but No, Avaki Atma. Okay, okay. 2600 is what we want. So we'll dial this down to 2600. So that's our initial approach fix altitude. Let's just make sure our waypoints are correct. Avaki Atma PF11, and it is good. It looks a little weird now, the keyboard here, with the new update. It just looks a little different than it used to. And this will be our money shot for the upload to YouTube. Cool view, huh? And making that right hand turn to Atma. Excuse me, to Avaki. And yeah, things are looking pretty good so far. The departure out of, well, it looks like a departure. Or maybe arrival, I don't know. Somebody in a KLM something at 38,000 feet with no flight plan. Interesting. Alright. And here is once again the beautiful view. Beautiful view. Alright, so now we're gonna go. Well, he hasn't cleared us to descend. I'm gonna start slowing down. Juliana approach Caribbean 3003, request descent. And don't tell me he's gone offline. And he has gone offline. Okay. So I want to bring the power back to idle. That's a little unfortunate. San Juan Center 118.15. Let's see if we bring him up on the horn. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna go to. It's gonna be, and now we can hit VNAV path mode. Alright, under 180, I'm going to bring out a notch of flaps. And I'm going to turn my landing lights on. Well, actually, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's actually backwards compared to what they do in the Boeing, so I actually just turned them off by mistake instead of turning them on. Alright. Anguilla traffic, Caribbean 3003 is at inbound RNAV 11 approach, Anguilla. Alright, now it's 1015 on the altimeter, which is going to make things even more difficult for me. Alright. So I've got about another, got another 6.5 miles to descend here. We'll see if I can get it down as far as I need to. I'm going to put the knots for the landing speed. Anguilla traffic, Caribbean 3003, turning a 10-mile final, runway 11, Anguilla. So I'm going to throw out the gear because we need to slow down. And as soon as we get under 150 knots, I'm going full flaps. And there's full flaps. That's going to help us slow down. This is all set. Alright, seatbelt signs on. Landing lights are on. Altimeter set. Cabin altitude is good. Before landing checklist. Cabin crew landing gears down. Flaps full. Power management. To take off. To lose speed. Icing anyways. Good. Exterior lights are on. Alright. So. And there's the runway straight ahead of us. Approach speed is 108, so we're really in good shape. Alright, we'll be about 5-mile final here in a second. Anguilla traffic, Caribbean 3003, 7-mile final, runway 11, Anguilla. And let's get a nice shot here of the airplane coming into Anguilla. Very beautiful. Alright, so I'm gonna set this down to 530 now. Wow, you can't set it to 530, but I'll set it to 600. Alright. Gear down 3 green, flaps are set. Anguilla traffic, Caribbean 3003, 5-mile final, runway 11, Anguilla. And this is legendary. Look at that little island right there with the building on it. I forget what it's called. It's is it? I can't think of it. That's just too cool that they've got the little building on the island. It's just amazing. I'm gonna pull a little bit of power out. I want to slow us down just a little bit. Anguilla traffic carrying 3003, 3 mile final runway 11, Anguilla. Okay. Alright. Ditch the autopilot and the yaw dampener. Alright, it's our airplane now. Alright, let's see if we can finagle a landing out of this here.
500. Approaching minimum. 500. Minimum.
It's not a good sign when you hear 500 twice. Continuing.
$200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Was that the greatest landing in human history? No, it was not. But you know, this is a shortish runway compared to where I've flown this thing before. And so I'm not terribly embarrassed with that one. It was firm. Insert joke here. But you know, not really too disappointed in that, to be honest with you. Now this is going to be a bit tricky, I think. I think if I was actually in this airplane, I would probably have a better idea of, you know, its turning radius and so forth, but we'll just, you know what's funny, I just realized, watch this. Remember that little trick we did at the beginning of the video? I think we're in pretty good shape here. Let's get inside. I'm going to shut down the number 1 engine. Turn on the prop brake here for the number 2 engine. I don't know why that's not indicating, but it's not. But we shall go on about our day. Let's set the service. Let's set the wheel chocks. Ground power. Get everything set here. That's on. I don't know why the there we go. I needed to bring it back to the feather position before the prop brake would turn on, which Makes sense. Let's turn that fuel pump off. We'll turn our lights off. Landing lights off. Let's hit this. We'll let the people free. We'll turn these off. Don't need those. So, take a little peek here. I think we're in good shape. We've got parking brake set. We have ground power. So I think we're good to go. All things considered, I think that was a pretty good flight, even though... okay, so prop brake is ready, but because I didn't turn the switch on when it was ready, it didn't engage. So there we go. Now we've got the prop brake. We are set. We are here at Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport in Anguilla. And yeah, these buildings don't belong here. Well, actually, no, there are some kind of industrial buildings around the airport, but yeah, everything looking good. Gorgeous day in Anguilla. And I think our flight went pretty well, I do have to say. Take a quick look at our landing rate, which is probably rather firm. 363 feet per minute. Yeah, you know what? All good as far as I'm concerned. And now, in order for us to be able to end the flight on VAMSIS, I have to turn the engine off. All good. So radar, yeah. Radar, flight controls locked, flaps are up. Trims 3 axes are green, landing strobe lights off, anti-ice probe heating is off. And there you go. Parking brake set, taxi takeoff lights off, CL2 feather. Beacon is on standby, which is automatic. That's awesome. Our beacon is off, rather, transponder on standby. Tail prop is set. Seatbelt signs off. And that's that, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the flight. And we will see you again next time.